Well, President Donald Trump's nominee for CIA director faced tough questions from senators today on Capitol Hill. If confirmed, Gina Haspel will be the first American woman to lead the CIA. Haspel appeared before the Senate Intelligence Committee today, where she was grilled on her role in a covert detention program after 9/11. Haspel says that the agency learned some tough lessons from its interrogations of terror suspects and vowed not to reinstate those techniques.
Having served in that tumultuous time, I can offer you my personal commitment, clearly and without reservation, that under my leadership, on my watch, CIA will not restart a detention and interrogation program. CIA has learned some tough lessons from that experience. We were asked to tackle a mission that fell outside our expertise. For me, there is no better example of implementing lessons learned than what the agency took away from that program. In retrospect, it is clear, as the Sissy Majority Report concluded, that CIA was not prepared to conduct a detention and interrogation program.
And joining me now, CBS News Justice and Homeland Security correspondent Jeff Pegues. Jeff, we knew going into this Haspel was facing criticism about her role at black sites, these covert detention, interrogation programs. What do you think she revealed today about her role? And do you think it was enough to put those senators' concerns to rest?
I don't know if what she revealed put senators, especially Democratic senators' concerns to rest, but what she talked about is what we've heard really over the last several weeks since she was announced as President Trump's choice to be CIA director, that she had a role in the enhanced interrogation program. Specifically, she ran one of the black sites where an al-Qaeda detainee was waterboarded. Also, she had a role in the destruction of the videotapes that captured some of these enhanced interrogation techniques. So she discussed that. She was asked numerous times by some of the Democratic senators on the Senate Intelligence Committee, but at this time, it's too early to tell whether she satisfied all of their questions related to the program. There were some senators who walked out of the hearing and were not satisfied. So we'll just have to see where that goes and how it plays out as we get closer to a vote.
I want to play some sound for you, Jeff. It's from President Trump talking about torture during the 2016 election.
And don't tell me it doesn't work. Torture works, okay, folks? Torture, have these guys. Torture doesn't work. Believe me, it works, okay? And waterboarding is your minor form. Some people say it's not actually torture. Let's assume it is. But they asked me the question, what do you think of waterboarding? Absolutely fine. But we should go much stronger than waterboarding. That's the way I feel.
Haspel had a different take today. I mean, she's clearly at odds with the president on this issue, if this is still his position at this point. If she, who wins in that battle? If the president believes in torture and wants to go down that route, and she's the CIA director, and he tells her to reinstate something like this, in that type of a situation, who wins, Jeff?
Well, it depends on what happens, certainly, but she reiterated over and over again and in different ways that she does not believe that torture works. She was asked whether she would stand up to the president if he asked her to restart the program, and she said that she would not restart the program. Some of the senators, Democrats, wanted a yes or no answer to that. She wouldn't give a yes or no answer, but she did say numerous times that she would not restart the program if President Trump asked her to do it. She believes, and this is something that she talked about in the hearing, that the enhanced interrogation program and certainly the videotapes put CIA officers out in the field at risk. And that was something that she talked about as well. But, again, to that first question that you had, whether her answers satisfied some of the senators on the panel, well, even when it came to this question of whether she would stand up to President Trump, there were some Democratic senators who were clearly not satisfied with her answers to that question.
You were talking about destroying those tapes. I want to play some sound for you because this was a key point in this hearing today, her talking about those destroyed tapes.
Mr. Rodriguez, who was the DDO at the time, the Deputy Director for Operations, has been very upfront and has made it clear on a number of occasions publicly that he and he alone made the decision to destroy the tapes. I would also make it clear that I did not appear on the tapes, as has been mischaracterized in the press. However, as Chief of Staff, and I believe like everyone at the agency at that time, we were extremely concerned about the security risk that was posed to our officers.
Were you an advocate for destroying the tapes?
Senator, I absolutely was an advocate if we could within and conforming to U.S. law, and if we could get policy concurrence to eliminate the security risk posed to our officers by those tapes, and the consistent legal
advice. Aware of what those tapes contained?
No, I never watched the tapes, but I understood that our officers' faces were on them and that was very dangerous at a time when there were unauthorized disclosures that were exposing the program.
Jeff, do you think this is going to be a big deal for her, the destruction of those tapes?
It was certainly an issue today, and it has been an issue for senators on that panel, at least some of them, who do not feel as if the CIA has been forthcoming enough in declassifying some of the information around her involvement in the enhanced interrogation program, and specifically the destruction of those videotapes which showed the enhanced interrogation techniques. She revealed today that there were about 92 of those tapes. That was something that we hadn't heard before. But she also said that there were legal consultations at the time about those tapes, and there was no legal requirement, she says, that the tapes be preserved. And the Mr. Rodriguez, as she was referring to, was her boss at the time, the Deputy Director of Operations for the CIA, and she says that he took it upon himself. He made the decision to destroy the tapes. Her role in this, as outlined by CIA officials, is that she was the one who drafted the cable that led to the destruction of the tape. So this will be an issue going forward. You know, there were a lot of protesters in that hearing who would interrupt and express their say things about her role in the interrogation program. They were escorted out, and there were several interruptions like that. So her role in the enhanced interrogation program, and then her role in destroying the tapes, that is one of the key issues, the key impediments, if you will, to her confirmation.
You know, she made the point, Jeff, of saying that unlike previous new CIA directors, she doesn't have to learn the ropes. She's been in the agency a very long time. If confirmed, what do you think some of the pressing issues will be that she'll have to get right into?
Well, she talked about North Korea, Iran, China, Russia, and I've spoken with administration officials who believe that, you know, at the end of the day, there will be senators who yes, they will vote on her past, but there will be many more senators who vote on her future, and the fact that she is more prepared than any other director in the history of the agency, or potential director in the history of the agency, and that is because of her 3-decade-plus career in the agency. She was someone who ran operations for the CIA, and so she has experience in the agency. She knows how it operates. She has, it appears to us, the support of the rank and file within the agency. And there are many senators and certainly administration officials who believe that she is equipped to deal with the threats of today.
It's pretty remarkable, though, Jeff, however you cut it, that we could potentially have a female CIA director, incredibly historic. But I got to tell you, watching these hearings, I was kind of expecting Judi Dench to show up at some point. We talk about the head of intelligence. Can't get her out of my mind.
Well, yeah, and she did talk about some of, you know, how she ran some of the operations, the dead drops, the spy craft that is used, the kind of thing that people who watch The Americans, that show that is quite popular, and it talks about Russian operatives here in America. So some of her opening statement alluded to that, and it was interesting how she talked about her role in some of those operations coming up through the agency.
All right, great to hear. Jeff Pegues, thank you so much for that update.